In less solemn political news, Hillary Clinton did one of her first big interviews on her new book, What Happened? And the answer is you did, Hillary. A lot of people saying Trump happened. Hillary happened to Hillary. Hey, this is one thing I did get right during the election cycle. I asked myself during the election cycle, is this thing a referendum on Trump or is this thing a referendum on Hillary Clinton? And I said over and over and over again, this is a referendum on Hillary Clinton. It is not a referendum on Trump. Hillary Clinton is the third term for Obama. You looked at her poll numbers. She was bouncing around between 39 and 50%. Trump was very stable at between 41 and 44%. That meant Hillary could lose to him, but she could lose to him, right? It wouldn't be him winning. It would be her losing. And that's actually what happened. Well, now Hillary is doing the rounds. And it is amazing. I mean, the reason that she lost is the reason why she's doing the rounds. John McCain didn't write a book after he lost. Mitt Romney didn't write a book after he lost. Right? John Kerry didn't really write a book after he lost. All these people sort of disappeared. They sort of went away. They went away because they knew that they were doing more damage to their party by sticking around than they would by just disappearing. Hillary is sticking around because she cannot get over the fact that she lost. She has to wake up in the morning and look at the mirror and say to herself, what in the hell just happened here? And that's, of course, the name of her book. So she does this interview, and she starts off by saying she's not going to run for office again. Like, yeah, we know you lost.
Is your political career over?
Yes. As an active politician, it's over.
You will never be a candidate for office?
I am done with being a candidate, but I am not done with politics because I literally believe that our country's future is at stake.
You represent...
Okay, so she says that she's not going to run for office again in any case. That is not a giant shock that she's not going to run for office because, again, she lost. Then she admits that she hadn't drafted a concession speech. This shows you why Donald Trump won, and it shows why Republicans can continue to win no matter how incompetent they are. Democrats are so confident that the world is just going to fall into their laps that they don't even seem to be making an effort. Hillary was a good example of this. Here she is explaining that she hadn't even drafted a concession speech.
You know, I just kind of went in the bedroom, laid down on the bed, just thought, okay, I just have to wait this out. But then midnight, I decided, well, looks like it's not going to work. I had not drafted a concession speech. I've been working on a victory speech. Our best days are still ahead of us.
And
then on what she thought would be her
speech, right? I mean, if you remember it. But she never thought that she was going to lose. And then what becomes clear is that she has never given up on her line. Her line is that everyone who voted against her was a white nationalist supremacist piece of garbage. This is her line, and this is what Democrats still believe. So long as Democrats believe this, they're going to lose. The fact is, a lot of people who did not vote for her, people like me, right? A lot of us were just appalled by the alt-right. A lot of us were appalled by white supremacism. A lot of people who voted for Donald Trump are appalled by white supremacism. They just didn't like her. But Hillary continues to double down on this line, and it's one of the reasons why there is this backlash that has been soft toward the alt-right. Because the more that Hillary Clinton says that everybody's a white supremacist, the more that people say, well, I'm not a white supremacist. Maybe those actual white supremacists over there aren't white supremacists either. Here's Hillary Clinton doubling down on the deplorables line. You remember, she gave a speech in the middle of the campaign in which she suggested that everyone who is supporting Donald Trump was a deplorable white supremacist. She read a bunch of headlines from Breitbart. She talked about the alt-right, and then she linked everybody on the right with the alt-right. And everybody on the right picked up on that, and they said, well, I'm not a deplorable, and if she's going to call me a deplorable, then I'll call myself a deplorable. And she still doesn't understand that was a galvanizing moment for the opposition to her.
Why do you think that word deplorable had been circulating in your mind?
Well, I thought Trump was behaving in a deplorable manner. I thought a lot of his appeals to voters were deplorable. I thought his behavior, as we saw on the Access Hollywood tape, was deplorable. And there were a large number of people who didn't care. It did not matter to them.
Okay, maybe it mattered to them. Then they looked at you and they said, well, I'm not voting for that lady. Right? That seems to me more likely. But again, she can't get over herself. She still thinks she was wildly popular, except for the sneaking Nazis, right? Those thieving, sneaking Nazis and Russians. It was the new Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and they decided the Ribbentrop Pact, and they put together this alliance against Hillary Clinton personally. And then she continues along these lines, right? She still can't get over it. She says that Trump's inauguration speech was a cry from the white nationalist gut.
So there I was on the platform, feeling like an out-of-body experience. And then his speech, which was a cry from the white nationalist gut.
Okay, it was not a speech that was a cry from the white nationalist gut. His speech, his inauguration speech, was, I thought, quite well written. I thought it was very dark, but I thought that it was effective. I don't think it was about white nationalism so much as it was about the idea that America had fallen on hard times and now Trump was going to raise us up again, right? Trump was going to be the guy who dragged us out of that crevasse. The reason all of this matters, the reason Hillary Clinton still matters, is because her spirit still infuses the Democratic Party. Her cackling spirit still infuses the Democratic Party. They don't understand why they lost. They think that they are just going to kind of sweep into victory again on the basis of confusion and ire and anger and hatred for the other side. And I don't think that that's right. And you can see that what's happened here is we now have reactionaries on both sides. So Hillary Clinton is a reactionary of the left. She thinks that everybody on the right is white nationalists. And then you have reactionaries on the right who, people like Steve Bannon, I think, who have turned to Hillary Clinton and said, okay, well, if you're going to react that way, then I'm going to look at the alt-right